BHP has warned that an escalating trade war could harm the world economy. But so far, the direct impact of tariffs unleashed by US President Donald Trump on the miner have been limited. The company's chief concern is China. The US has upped levies on the East Asian nation significantly. This could hamper growth in the country where BHP sells most of its major product, iron ore. And so BHP says that the outlook for the global economy will depend on China's ability to invigorate domestic consumption. The comments come alongside the release of an operational review. For the 9 months to end March, copper and iron ore achieved record output. The firm says this demonstrates the resilience of its business. Looking ahead, BHP believes it will be able to deliver on production guidance at all its assets. Sasol is assessing the potential effects of the Trump administration's import tariffs. To do this, the energy and chemicals company is looking into its operations, supply chain and pricing strategies, but has committed to ensuring continuity and mitigating potential disruptions as a result of the tariff changes. The firm says it will also identify any upside opportunities in the situation. This comes as the group has released a 9-month production and sales update. That release indicates that mining production for the full year will be lower than initially expected. Sasol says that as a result of it cutting back on lower quality in-house coal and instead sourcing higher quality coal externally. Sales in Chemicals Africa are projected to fall between 2 and 4%, and international chemicals volumes are forecast to reach the lower end of Sasol's prior guidance range for a 4 to 8% year-on-year decline. But despite the weaker volume outlook, Sasol has confirmed that financial metrics for 2025 remain broadly in line with guidance. South32 has delivered a strong performance for the 9 months to end March. During the period, the miner increased copper production by 18% and aluminium output by 6%. That was supported by its operations in Mozambique, which managed the effects of civil unrest and approached nameplate capacity in the third quarter. The miner has highlighted key positive events it's looking forward to in the fourth quarter. Among them is the resumption of export sales from Australia manganese during the period. And moving forward, South32 says its focus will be on operational discipline, active cost management and a strong balance sheet, which can help it navigate a potentially uncertain global market. Merafe has got the year off to a slow start. The firm says attributable ferrochrome production from the Glencore Merafe Chrome venture fell 7% during the first quarter. That puts output at 71 kilotons. The group says the decrease is in response to market conditions. 91 says its assets under management stood at £130.8 billion at the end of March. This is largely flat when compared to the previous quarter, but is a 3.8% rise on the same period a year ago. The group will publish full-year results on the 4th of June. Zeda has warned that its annual net asset value per share will be between 26 and 30% lower. It says the decrease is mainly as a result of the special dividends paid from disposals during the year. And to a lesser extent, it's also as a result of the downward adjustments in the valuation of the group's remaining unlisted events. Zeda is an investment holding company which focuses on the agribusiness industry, and more detail on the company's financials will be released when it opens its books on the 24th of April. In international news, luxury brand Hermes will pass on the full cost of US tariffs to its affluent customers following a first quarter sales report that fell slightly short of market expectations. Let's take a look for more detail.
France's Hermes will fully shift the burden of tariffs in the United States to its wealthy clientele. The company announced the news on Thursday as it posted first quarter sales that slightly missed expectations. Banking on its pricing power as one of the world's most exclusive luxury brands, Hermes plans to add a premium to all products sold in the US. Hermes is known for its Kelly and Birkin handbags. They fetch upwards of $10,000. The brand reported sales for the 3 months ending in March of $4.66 billion, a 7% rise on a constant currency basis. It fell below analyst expectations for 9.8% year-on-year growth. Hermès's first quarter sales follow sector bellwether LVMH reporting disappointing figures. That's despite Hermès still posting positive growth across all regions. Speaking to journalists on a call, the company's finance chief said it's not observed any significant change in shopper behaviour in the US and that it still saw double-digit growth in the region. But the US tariffs could include a 20% charge on European fashion and leather goods. Last week, Trump paused most of his tariffs for 90 days, setting a general 10% duty rate instead. Commenting on China, which is weighed down by a real estate crisis, Hermès said it did not see any major signs of improvement, but added that recent government efforts to boost spending were a positive signal.
And gold hit fresh record highs as investors sought a refuge from the turbulence surrounding trade tensions between the United States and China. Here's more detail in this report.
Gold touched fresh record highs on Thursday. Prices for the precious metal hit just over $3,357 per ounce before easing back a little. Demand is sky high as traders seek out a refuge from the turbulence on stock markets sparked by global trade tensions. Independent analyst Ross Norman told Reuters that the gains are a warning bell, indicating that investors are recalibrating their outlook. Prices have also been supported by buying by central banks, with China adding to its gold reserves for a fifth straight month in March. Since it's priced in dollars, bullion is further helped by the tumbling value of the greenback, which makes it cheaper for investors holding other currencies. Gold is traditionally seen as a refuge in times of turmoil. Over the first quarter of this year, more than $21 billion has flowed into exchange-traded funds featuring the metal. That's the biggest inflow since the start of 2022, when markets were reacting to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The gains are causing chaos for some of the world's biggest gold fans. Indians buy huge amounts of the precious metal, often as jewellery for weddings. Traders there say the rising prices have seen demand all but evaporate, with people having to trade in their old items to buy new pieces when there is a marriage in the family.